Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So apparently Donald Trump colluded with an Israeli firm in order to try to gut the Iran deal. And what I mean by that is he tried to do it through these kind of special operation ways of trying to get dirt on some of the people who were instrumental in getting the deal enacted in the first place. And in getting dirt on those people, use that dirt to try to undermine the deal itself. This is gross. If you're talking about collusion with another nation, here it is. It's not with Russia. Revealed. Trump team hired spy firm for dirty operations on Iran arms deal. Israeli agency told to find incriminating material on Obama diplomats who negotiated a deal with Tehran. Aides to Donald Trump. The United States president hired an Israeli private intelligence agency to orchestrate a dirty operations campaign against key individuals from the Obama administration who helped negotiate the Iran nuclear deal, the Observer revealed. People in the Trump camp contacted private investigators in May last year to get dirt on Ben Rhodes, who had been one of Barack Obama's top national security advisors, and Colin Cowell, deputy assistant to Obama and part of the elaborate attempt to discredit the deal. Extraordinary revelations come days before Trump's May 12 deadline to either scrap or continue to abide by the international deal limiting Iran's nuclear program. Jack Straw, who was foreign secretary, was involved in earlier efforts to restrict Iranian weapons, said, "These are extraordinary and appalling allegations, but which illustrate a high level of desperation by Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to not only discredit the deal, but to undermine those around it." I have to be honest, this is gross. Sources said the officials linked to Trump's team contacted investigators days after Trump visited Tel Aviv a year ago, his first foreign tour as U.S. president. Trump promised Netanyahu that Iran would never have nuclear weapons and suggested that the Iranians thought they could do whatever they want since negotiating the nuclear deal in 2015. A source within the details of the Dirty Tricks campaign said the idea was that people active for Trump would discredit those who were pivotal in selling the deal, making it easier to pull out of it. According to incendiary documents seen by the Observer, investigators contacted by the private intelligence agencies, were told to dig into the personal lives of the political careers of Rhodes, a former deputy national security advisor for strategic communications, and Cowell, national security advisor to the former Vice President Joe Biden. Among other things, they were looking at personal relationships, any involved with Iran-friendly lobbyists, and if they had benefited personally or politically from the peace deal. That's amazing. Investigators were apparently told to contact prominent Iranian Americans and as well as pro-deal journalists from the New York Times, MSNBC, the Atlantic, Vox website, and Haaretz, the Israeli newspaper, among others, who have frequent contact with Rhodes and Cowell in an attempt to establish whether they had violated any protocols by sharing sensitive intelligence. They are believed to have looked at comments made by Rhodes in a 2016 New York Times profile in which he admitted relying on inexperienced reporters to create an echo chamber that helped sway public opinion to secure the deal. It also understood that the smear campaign wanted to establish if Rhodes was among those who backed a request by Susan Rice, Obama's final national security advisor, to unmask identities of Trump's transition officials caught up in the surveillance of foreign targets. He essentially, in a nutshell, Trump was trying to use an Israeli secret intelligence firm to try to find information on people who were instrumental in getting the Iran deal, to gut the Iran deal. Not because the deal was failing on its merits, not because Iran did anything that went against the deal, not because European leaders and the other people who had co-signed onto the deal found something wrong with it. No, he himself wanted to pull out the deal. He was trying to find political cover to do so. He didn't have political cover from objective reality, so he tried to create it using the smear campaign against the people who were involved in the deal. That's amazing. That's amazing. Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. The deadline, by the way, is coming up. Donald Trump may actually pull out this deal, and we don't necessarily know what the fallout will be from this deal. I suspect it would get us back to where we were before, where you had the neocons who was talking about some kind of strike on Iran. That's what I suspect. I suspect that the hardliners, Pompeo and that maniac, John Bolton, that he has whispering in his ear behind him, who are hardliners on Iran, will be whispering in his ear, hardliners, still with Iran. Now with this extra thing of these guys are trying to make a nuclear weapon, that's why we took you out of the deal, and we're going to do something about stopping them from making a nuclear weapon. It's propaganda. It's nonsense. They themselves will be the thing that pushes Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. And by the way, The reason that Iran is developing a nuclear weapon, if they do so, Iran said they have no interest in developing a nuclear weapon, either with the deal or without. But the reason had everything to do with protecting themselves from what they found to be a rapacious United States, what they found to be an Israel that has a nuclear weapon, by the way. An Israel that has a nuclear weapon bitching and moaning about Iran potentially getting a nuclear weapon. This is nonsense. And if you want to find something that's going to get us closer to war, what Donald Trump is doing right now is getting us closer to war. I stand by my hypothesis. Well, it's a hypothesis, you can stand by it. It doesn't really mean anything. But I stand by the hypothesis. It's possible that the reason why Donald Trump wants to take us out of Syria is because he wants to refocus on Iran. And he doesn't necessarily want to have us in both. Pulling the funding from the white helmets, I think, was this way of trying to gut the edifice that was responsible for telling everybody that there was this kind of chemical strike, allowing him to actually divert more attention and more resources to Syria. That's what I think. Am I right? I don't know. Time will tell. But I would say that the people he's been putting in his stead are hardliners on Iran. And the idea that he's trying to find people in order to get dirt on people who are instrumental in the Iran deal leads itself even more so that he's trying to find reasons or ways to attack Iran through this propaganda thing. He's just bad at it. But time will tell. But for all those people who thought Donald Trump was going to be this kind of peacenik, or Donald Trump was going to focus on America, make America great and everything else, it seems that day after day you've been proven to be wrong. You're being shown to be wrong. Leave it at that. Keep it short. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe, and of course, you can always support the Patreon. This is dangerous. Yes, it's good he's getting us out of Syria. It is not good that he's getting us into a conflict with Iran. Thanks guys.